Hello everyone, welcome to Fiaura. So today we're taking a look at the BMP-1P. I have actually not been able to review this machine because it's basically like playing a BMP-1 with a missile strapped to the top of it. But let's take a look at it and compare it to its potential competitors. As with all these reviews, we compare it to all the vehicles of the same tier and class, as well as all vehicles that can fulfill the same role that it does. So, here we have it. Start with the comparison versus the Swing-Fire. This Soviet-built vehicle, I believe it's just built by the Soviet Union, has a higher alpha but much lower penetration because the Swing-Fire fires nothing but missiles. But when we actually look at the missile penetration and damage of the individual ATGMs from the BMP-1P, they're both higher. So while the Swing-Fire gets 2 missiles per clip, it doesn't have a cannon, and it doesn't compare to the missile output damage by the BMP-1P. As a matter of fact, we can do this little trick that I learned earlier. Switch the missiles. Confirm. And now we can take a look. And we can see... Oh, it's still showing the HE round. Never mind. It doesn't do it with secondary weapons, apparently. It only does it with the primaries. My bad. I thought it would do it with the secondary. But basically, we can see that the Swing-Fire takes 14 seconds to load. The BMP's missile takes 16 seconds. So the Swing-Fire technically has a higher DPM with missiles alone, but we're going to make up for that with a 73mm cannon. Now, armor... These are low-tier AFVs. What armor? Yes, the BMP-1P has more armor and more hit points, but don't expect the armor on this thing to save you from anything. You get hit, you get hurt. The BMP-1P is faster than the Swing-Fire. It is the only AFV it's faster than. Just fair warning there. But it has the weaker view range and camouflage value with the setups I have in place, which both of them do have the optics system. Appears as though the BMP-1P needs a little boost in the optics and the camouflage departments, but we'll see if that's still the case once we start the match. Now it takes 2.8 seconds to aim, whereas the Swing-Fire takes 1.5 seconds to get the missiles ready, but the Swing-Fire has to come to a complete stop. BMP-1P can fire on the move. Both use an automatic loading system, so there is no loader improvement there. The BMP-1P has a 37.65 degree turret rotation and only 4 degrees of gun depression. Remember, the Swing-Fire missiles shoot up in the air. But let's take a look at it versus a Puma. How does this stack up to the Puma? This is a reward tank from last month. I'm trying to get you guys some codes for it as soon as possible, but we'll see if that happens. So for a start, it has 1 more point of alpha damage over the Puma. But it has less penetration for its standard round. Granted, it does have a missile. The Puma doesn't, so the Puma can be a little bit more tricky to operate. It has a higher DPM compared to the Puma, with a faster reload, and the 1 point of higher alpha damage. They have the same hit points, same armor, to the letter. I don't know why the Puma's defense is so much higher. However, the Puma, since it comes with a mobility retrofit, actually has the better acceleration when fitted with the optics. The Puma also has the better camouflage rating because it comes with a pre-painted camouflage scheme and just has a slightly higher camouflage rating anyway, in addition to the fact that the Puma has a longer view range. They have the same gun depression. The Puma has a quicker turret but less accuracy, and the Puma has a quicker aim time. So, it's kind of a toss-up who would win. No, the Puma is going to outspot you. It's just going to happen. So you need to position yourself in such a way that you can take advantage of your close range tactic of having a slightly higher damage per minute. Your slightly higher damage per minute isn't necessarily going to save you either. You need to avoid getting hit, because a Puma and you, even firing at the same time, will kill each other at the same time. Your alpha damage isn't that much greater, nor is your damage per minute. you will almost certainly come down to a nail's breadth in a flat-out DPM race. We then come to the BMD-1, which has a weaker heat shell, but its heat shells are fin stabilized, so it has better accuracy on the move. The BMD also has a lower DPM and a longer reload, less hit points, but this is where we get into the BMD's advantages over the BMP series. BMDs are faster. BMDs have much better camouflage rating. They share the same view range. BMDs have much quicker turrets, but they have longer aim times and less accuracy. So the BMD series does have better accuracy on the move and is probably going to see you first. Granted, in a flat-out slugging match, you should win most, if not every single time. In a sniping match, you might lose because you're not going to be able to see him generally until he fires at you. Fair warning. In addition to this, the BMD has a weaker missile and a longer reload time on said missile. So you do have the advantage in sheer firepower, but not in most of the other categories of speed, maneuverability, or the utility. You also have the advantage in survivability. There you go. There's the BMP-1P against all of its competitors. Now, where do you shoot this thing? Anywhere. It has 12 millimeters of armor. The 20 millimeter autocannons will generally penetrate anywhere except for this very upper plate when you're on flat terrain because of the nice hard angle. But the lower plate goes right through, side armor, turret, anywhere you hit this thing, you're going to hurt it. What about crew? It's an AFV. Sabrina Washington is virtually the only AFV commander we have at the moment. You can take other commanders if you would like, but I'm sticking with Sabrina on this one for the camouflage, the aim speed, and the view range. Crew-wise, I recommend smooth ride and then off-road driving. You need to move faster and you need to be able to shoot on the move. The gunner is also a loader. Surprise, surprise, this one isn't an auto-loading vehicle. But your gunner, you need to make sure you save your med kit for your gunner, because if your gunner dies, you're screwed. I recommend rapid fire to increase your rate of fire, and I recommend shoot from the hip so you can just fire on the move or when the aim circle is at its largest points, rather than waiting for an actual full aim. Since you're an AFV with no armor, waiting for a full aim oftentimes means that you will die. Ammunition load. I actually load more HE than heat because against tier 6 vehicles that are heavily resistant to heat, such as the Leopard 2, AV, or the T-72A, it's better just to hurl an HE round. So I actually load a little bit more HE than I do heat, and you of course have your 30 ATGMs. Make sure you load your ATGMs. You will find them very useful, but do not rely on them over your cannon. Your cannon is still your main weapon. Standard kit loadout. I do not recommend the medical kit because you only have 3 crew. I do not recommend trading out the medical kit because you only have 3 crew members, and if the gunner gets knocked out, you're boned, because that's not only your gun, that is your loader as well. Retrofits. I recommend augmented optics. The further you can see, the easier it is for you to detect stuff, and the better off you are. I also recommend enhanced shell materials because you don't want to have to stop to shoot 9 times out of 10, and moving and shooting on the move will save your life. So there you have it. The BMP-1P in a nutshell. Let's go take a look at some PvP footage from the replay system, and then we are going to take a look at some PvE footage. So we're here in Ghostfield, and we are sitting in the BMP-1P, about to get this party started. I am not in a platoon at the moment. I actually had to step out of a platoon for a little bit so I could recenter myself on live stream. And here I am driving around on the Ghosts. Now what you're about to see is going to surprise you. I mean, it would surprise me too. But that's beside the point. Now as you can see, we are still having issues with the replay system. I am making sure that someone from Obsidian is seeing these issues, and hopefully they can fix them. I quite frankly do not enjoy a little bit of rubber banding and backlag and stuff like that, and it needs to be fixed. I don't know about you guys, but in the meantime, until it is fixed, and I can confirm it's fixed, after this week, we will be playing, go back to the live stream system of just extracting games from live stream rather than the replay system until I can confirm that that is fixed. So, we're going to pull up here. And look at what I spotted. I'm going to mark one of them. And then that poor OF-40. And I'm going to sit here. I don't see any sense in moving. I am completely covered by trees according to the camouflage indicator. Here in the lower left screen you see all these little bars around me. I am therefore giving augmented camo from every direction possible. And I fire a missile at the Xylo because I had it armed for a main battle tank. Now I don't actually get spotted here, so I go, okay. We can sit back up here. Anybody else want to come out? Anybody? Hello! Boom! I hit him. I know I hit him. Yep, I hit him. And hit the BMP and throw out my smoke because I got spotted and all the rounds in the world come raining in to kill me. Holy crap. Now I decide that since all of that was aimed at me like that and just came flying in, that I should change my spotting position oh so slightly in order to provide me with better cover. Now I check to see if that BMP-1P spots me when I do this. He does not. So I let him have one. Now I didn't get spotted. So that tells me that that BMP-1P does not have the augmented optics and actually can't see very well compared to my massive view range that I get whenever I sit still. And so as the rain cascades off my hull, I am going to kindly wait for someone to peek out. And then I see where all that fire is coming from, and I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of seeing my friends be shot at, even if they are only my friends because they're on my team. Let's see if I can light these guys in mid-up. Now, as you can see, this thing is slow. It is. You have to move with purpose. You cannot just drive all willy-nilly. There are main battle tanks you will face that have higher accelerations and higher top speeds than you do. That's a fact. I noticed a T-64, a wild T-64 that has appeared. I tried to mark him. And I got my missile out because I thought I might need it. And I'm like, oh. Well, can I shoot him? Let's find out. Is he going to take cover? Oh, no, it's just not going to do anything to the plate. That poor T-64. Doesn't even know what's going on down here. Take a look at it from his perspective. Ooh, hello, Xylo. How are you? Now, I did get spotted for that, so I'm sitting here maneuvering to avoid further incoming fire. But an ERC appears, and the ERC is what is actually spotting me, and I know it. I get set up again. I'm trying to look for a missile shot on that 64 as I pinpoint him and call him out. Now, we're losing pretty badly. See a Leopard 1A5. I can see his hull. I put one right through the hull, and he takes the hint. Now this BMP-1P down here, I'm about to school. He's not even looking at me. He is absolutely... I want to show you guys this as this round travels. We're going to pause. I'm spotted. He seems completely oblivious. I'm still spotted. I never delit. And he just got wiped out. There's nothing he can do about it. I was spotted the entire time I was doing that. I'm not lit right now and I know it. So I'm getting a little bit of distance before I fire to make sure that that I'm outside of that Xylo's view range. Apparently the starship will cry if they lose. Well, Dark Pulsar, I hate to disappoint you, but you might lose, because we've been pulling it back. Hello, Xylo. That's not a safe position for you. You're marked. And he doesn't spot me, because he's moving. Dead. Third kill on the scoreboard. The BMP-1P makes a surprisingly effective sniper against other tier 4s. Because you can self-spot, and your small gun, while it doesn't have the highest rate of fire or the biggest punch, it still has one to be reckoned with. And I just got spotted, and I think I'm about to pay for this. No? Not going to pay for it? Okay, I'm not going to argue. Now come on, LAV 300. I would like to go in against this guy. I don't know about you, but I would like to. We can swarm him and take him out. I promise it'll work out for everybody in the end. But he's refusing. He is absolutely not doing it. He refuses to do it. And so I am left with the choice. Do I do this or not? And I say fuck it. Put one right into him. And then this WZ... let me back up, dude. He's wiped out now. And I do the stupid thing. I think I can poke this. I am an AFV with no armor. That was pretty unreasonably stupid, Fiaura, and you know it. So I think to myself, well, what do? I go the other way. Like any sensible AFV driver would, I turn around and say, fuck this shit. And go the other way. And as you can see, we are having a hellish amount of issue right now with the frame rate and everything. And the sound is going in and out too, which is not okay for the replay system to be having happen. And there's nothing I can do about it. It's just doing this. I come up here, I look at this T-64, I missed, and I go, wait a minute, I have a missile. Screw you. That's that same T-64 I was shooting at earlier, by the way. Now, I want my ace. I really, truly want my ace. Because I've got 4, and there's 5, and I'm licking my chops. So you know what? Let's do it. That is a Type 69-2 dug in such a way that it's going to be very difficult to dig him out or damage him. The WZ puts one in, the swing fire goes in and immediately explodes. I load my own missile, get in position, and let him have it. Now, can we see the missile in flight? Oh my god, look at this. That had to be his biggest surprise, as he thought the main battle tank was going to get him. Not this day, sir. Not this day. It's kind of cool how we can see the missile in flight, despite the fact it's traveling at like 600 meters a second. Oh, it's 200 meters a second, but still. That's a really cool feature, guys. Let's go take a look at the final stats from this particular game, and then we will be getting into the next game. And I do apologize, I just now realized I forgot to move my camera. My bad! I've been recording all day to get you guys all the stuff I need for next weekend, including this one, so sorry. Don't be mad. So here we have it. I got shooter. Apparently just about every shot I fired hit. Ace tanker, recon, because that's how you perform in an AFV, is you're the reconnaissance vehicle. You need to find the places you can spot from, and you have to improvise them as you go. I still got gold star. But of course I'm going to get the gold star if I get those 3 medals. Look at all of that damage. Just that sheer damage this thing can actually issue if, you know, you sit at long range and spot. But when I say sit at long range and spot, I don't mean camp. You guys saw it. Every time I got spotted, I went somewhere else and went looking for the enemy elsewhere. If you stay in the same spot, you're either going to A, die, or B, stop providing any real use for your team. Which I out-damaged the entire team. So this is, I hate to say it, I had to carry these guys. 16 shots fired, 15 landed on target. Only one actually missed, and that was that one at the end against the T-64. And of those shots, 13 penetrated. Look for targets you can penetrate and victimize. That other BMP-1, that ERC, who else? The Xylo, and anybody trying to cross that path up there were all easy to victimize with this tank. And of course, like I said, every time you get hit, it's going to hurt. You're going to get penetrated every single time you get hit. However, I did provide a significant amount of assistance damage. Only got 80 damage out of my designation, and that was from the Xylo getting hit by the artillery shell just before I killed him myself. Remember, if you're in an AFV, your target designation ability is too useful not to use. You can tell everybody, you can get everybody to shoot at a target. You can make it where your own shells do a shitload of damage, and therefore you know for a fact, well, my shell's maximum damage is 415. I'm going to shoot at that guy. He's marked. I'm going to do 415 damage. He has less than 415 hit points. That is a kill. You know it's a kill because there's no way he can avoid. If you penetrate, there's no way he can avoid not dying. But that's going to be all of this for right now. Let's move into the PvE aspect of the BMP-1. Alright everyone, so here we are on Operation Snakebite. Since we are in a tier 4, we cannot actually do this on hard. We have to do it on medium. But then again, I am a cute little BMP-1P AFV, and I know the rule. Don't get shot. Hello. Thanks for moving in the way of my designation there, Chief. I almost had it, and that would have been like, you know, beautiful. I'm just saying. Ow. Shoot him, shoot him, shoot him. Thank you. I know I need a missile for the T-72, and I wish that this guy would not stop moving me. They're trying to push me, dude. Ow. That hurt a little bit. What are you doing, dude? Right, so the starship is attempting to troll me. I will send this, make sure a moderator gets this footage and have that starship taken care of. Dead. Hi, I'm 109. How are you? Gonna mark it. Make sure it dies. And now I'm going to outmaneuver these guys in order to provide some fire support to our chieftain. And take a free kill, because that's what I do. See, in PvE, in a AFV, you pretty much are here as a, well, I hate to say it, you're not even kill securing, you're stealing them. Quite often, might I add. Now, this other T-72 doesn't appear to know how to handle his own tank, so we are going to outmaneuver this, take care of the secondary objective, and hopefully take out this other T-72. So I get a mark in, clear out the stuff, loading missile, maximum damage. And then I back up and I go, good night. Oh shit. Got the truck. Hate having to do that, but you didn't appear to want to actually do it yourself, so I figured I'd take care of it for you. The hard way, with heat and missiles. Now in PvE you can spam the heat. It's perfectly fine, because you're on medium, you're mostly going to be facing things your tier or lower. There's not a lot of advantage to spamming the HE. But when we see tier 6 vehicles, particularly in PvP, you may find yourself spamming HE because you don't have a penetrating shot at said vehicle. And that's okay. There's nothing lesser to think of you for doing that. I do it in my BMDs all the time. And I don't have the elevation for that. Sadly. Appears as though I have some competition in the LAV 300. Maybe I can get some more XP for designations.
Black Company, hold the reinforcements. Jams are on the way.
Ooh, low roll, but he's alive. But I got the hit. And the starship up there, of course, is way out of the way. I have to rely on them to actually be useful. Fire where I think he is. The enemy, did we fire smoke or did they? Oh, I missed. Just flat out missed. Oh, left him on a sliver. A sliver! Sorry I had to use you for a bullet shield there, Chiefy.
Identify target. Hostile tank.
Mark it.
Redler, requesting fire at target.
Well, at least I got the spotting damage.
Hostile tank. Nailed them.
Ooh. Inaccurate gun is inaccurate.
Identify target. Hostile tank. Target hit. Target destroyed.
Turn back. I don't actually have a shot at anything there, but I could shoot him. So I'm going to take him out. He's done. That's most of the targets on this map. Not a bad job.
Identified. Hostile tank. Nailed them.
Got him. 2, 1.
Ammo up. Track destroyed.
Got it.
Good work.
Woo!
Losing their ordnance should be a heavy blow to the PLN. They won't be blowing up anything for a while.
He was my bullet shield. I do appreciate him being a bullet shield. I don't know how I feel about that T-72. He just had to come up and like deal with the other T-72. I'm like, okay, heat shell to the side below the side skirt. And then a missile, same place, and then another heat shell into the rear armor for spite purposes. You really have to be careful about where you aim these heat shells, because if they hit spaced armor or they hit something that isn't the main hull, they're probably not going to penetrate. Now, I did not get the gold, I did not get the blue star because, well, despite having superior spots, the LAV 300 has a lot more damage than me. But we did do our job. I only actually did 409 assistance damage from designations. I actually did 2700 from spotting. Yay! Did our job as a little AFV. And more. So that is the BMP-1P, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have enjoyed this review. I do apologize about the camera. I forgot to move it. That's my fault. Maybe doing a resetup of my entire OBS setup so that this doesn't happen anymore. But in the meantime, if you did enjoy it, hit the like button. Seriously. If you found it helpful or useful for your own purposes, that's another good reason to do it. If you did enjoy it, hit the dislike button and let me know why. If you would like to see more stuff by me, Fiaura, you can subscribe. There's this big red button. Just hammer down it as hard as you can. And do the same thing to the like button, except for when you hammer down on the like button, make sure it's with the vengeance of a wrathful god. Here's the previous Armored Warfare video for you guys, and if you would like to support the channel, you can do so through Patreon, or you can check out the sponsor at the end of the video. Who knows, you might find something you like. In the meantime, from my house to yours, this is Fiaura, signing out for right now. Bye-bye, guys. Game. Gun is not accurate enough to hit, but that Stingray is sitting in the open. And I just slap him, and then I start pulling back. I'm not spotted right now, so I'm sitting up here. when rounds start raining in at the M68-3, you will notice a round hit me and did not actually pin. I see the M68-3 backing up again. I pull forward, and then I decide backing up because I see an incoming missile that just blew into that rock right there. I'm not actually spotted. I have been firing shots and have remained undetected this entire time. And I'm paying very careful attention to my map, because I noticed that up above us on the A line, there's been no